and they kind of shepherded us around, so we knew where to go and what to eat and all that other good stuff. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Tell us about today. What's going on here today?
Well, this passes for a beautiful day in Connecticut these days. You know, it's just cloudy, no rain, so that's a great thing. And we've got 200 golfers that come out here every year and try to raise as much money as we can for Connecticut Children's. And we've got their whole team, their whole development team here helping out, volunteering. And our players are going to come out and help out. So it's a total team effort by everyone. And each year, we try to do a little better than we did the year before. We had a dinner 2 Sundays ago down at TPC, and we raised almost $400,000 just at that dinner. So between that and here, we're going to maybe give them $1 million after we're done with this, and so it just keeps getting better and better. Got a lot of really good young players here that love to play in this event. We got some good old guy players. We got Billy Andrade, Rhode Island's famous son, playing here today with his son Cam. They're on my team, so we expect to win. So all in all, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Geno, you haven't, after the parade and the stock exchange, you haven't done a lot of first pitches and appearances like that. Not to make comparisons.
Our men's basketball coach told me that's not a good idea.
No, is that by design, or is it just by done now?
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's mostly a lot of fun for the players on the team. I'm a huge baseball fan, so years ago, we went to Fenway Park, and the kids got a big kick out of that. And then we did it for the Mets. People at SNY were great. They had us down there. The Phillies think I'm a traitor, so they haven't invited me down there. But I've come to learn as all this stuff over the years. When you win like this, and the players, you saw how they reacted. They've been busy as hell. The players, they've been involved in so many things, done so much that that's kind of what it's supposed to be like. Like me and CD and JJ and Tanya, Morgan, we've been through all this for a lot of years, and for them, this is like a once in a lifetime for them. Hopefully, it won't be the only one for some of them, but I'm glad they're getting to enjoy it. I'm glad they're having a blast with all this, and you can just see the way they walk around. They've got this look about them, like I want a national championship. So for me, no.
How does everything that they're doing affect their summer conditioning, workouts, etc.?
All good. I mean, just based on what we haven't done much. We started, maybe around June 1st, when summer school started. So we got 2 weeks left, this week and next week, and no, they've been, obviously they're not in great shape, because they don't need to be. Rest of April, all of May, they were in the gym, but not serious. But now, these last 2 weeks, I got to tell you, I've never seen AZ this aggressive, this engaged in wanting to do like a lot, and that's probably stood out more than anything. And remember the way Sarah was in that last game. She's way better. So those two things really stood out these last 2 weeks.
Is AZ coming out of the shadows a little bit of Paige and maybe want to be
I don't know that it was. I don't know that was ever a shadow. I think throughout her college career and throughout a lot of what AZ does or did up until we got to the Final Four. I mean, even in the USC game, they're just, her personality is such that she likes being in the background to somebody else, whatever that case, whoever that may be, whatever that may be. And if you remember a few years ago when Paige was out for the season, AZ dominated everything. I mean, she was on her way to being National Player of the Year maybe. She was averaging, 32 points a game or something. So she likes, when there's a lot of other good players on the team, she likes kind of like being in the background. But I think what happened in the Final Four, I think, may have changed her. I hope it has anyway. But between her and Sarah, I mean, the two of them, they've had some great battles on the court. It's been really fun to watch.
Do you have Big East meetings?
Yeah.
Anything come out of that?
No. Nothing. Oh, well, no, you can challenge the calls now. So I don't know if we have to have a flag with us and throw instead of water bottles, I'm going to throw flags on the court now.
tush push? You have a tush push?
We got the tush push.
What is it about?
We kept that. I went to those meetings to make sure we pushed that through.
Hey, Coach, Coach, I ran into Ashley Battle recently. What was it like to coach her?
Annoying. She was like somebody on roller skates in a bathtub. She would just fly and then crash into somebody and stop. That kid had more energy and more enthusiasm for playing the game, and just was an unbelievably competitive kid, and a fun kid to be around. But she was high energy, man. High energy.
What is it about Sarah that's different that you've noticed?
Just more aggressive, more assertive, more, if I don't like the way things are going, I'm going to take over. That kind of, which happens, It happens. At least it's supposed to happen.
Geno, did the reloading plan go the way you drew it up, or did some things maybe fall that you weren't expecting, or how did you had to replace Paige, obviously.
Yeah.
Some shoes to fill.
Yeah, somebody said, wow, you're going to be way better than you were last year. And I said, so we just lost the National Player of the Year. And I don't remember signing one. So I don't know that and nor were we trying to replace Paige. That wasn't going to happen. What we were hoping to do is just fill a couple of needs, right? If we could. If we couldn't, we were ready to just run it back the way it was, with whoever we have coming in. But it just so happened that, we felt like we need to have an experienced post player. So there just happened to be one. Sarah Williams was available, and it's the right kind of kid. And we thought, we could use another guard, that's played college basketball. And so there happened to be one available. So that's kind of what the portal is for us, Can we fill a need? If we can't, fine. But if we can, so we were able to, and let's see how that plays out. But it's been really competitive in our workouts because everybody wants to play. Problem is, not everybody's going to play as much as they think they're going to play or they want to play. But it's going to be determined who gets the most playing time, and I think the workouts are more grueling and tougher and more competitive because it can be. Because all these years, the last 4 or 5 years, we had 6 or 7 guys on the team, and everybody knew this is my role. There was no fighting for roles. There was no competition for spots, for playing time. Everybody knew, right? Like they would look around. Well, coach is not going to play me. They're going to play who instead? Now, he might not play me. He might play her instead. So it's been really, really good.
So AZ's changed.
Yeah.
Sarah's more assertive.
Yeah.
You filled a couple of needs.
Yeah.
Will you be as good or better than last year?
Well, that remains to be seen.
But can you?
Can we be as good? I don't know. We'll find out in the first big game You know, if we got somebody that we know is going to get 30 in those big games, then we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. We have a pretty good team.
First time you've had 15 players, 15 scholarships for a while.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you get though spooked by that time, you know, that you had 6 or 7? Because
sometimes
I mean, these things always tend to work.
I know. When you have 15 players, nobody ever gets hurt. Knock on wood. When you have 10 or 11 players, 6 of them always get hurt. So I don't know what to tell you. I just know that the circumstances that, you know, have led to we have a full roster. We have the maximum allowed. Is that what it's going to be like next year, the year after that, whatever? No. I don't think it can stay that way. It's not feasible in today's day and age. You know? I think you have to settle on, you know, these are the 12, and let's go with it. But this year we're at 15. So.
Coach, going back to the topic of today, you know, why does this charity series mean so much to you?
It's, I don't know how many years, 15, 20 years, I don't know, maybe even longer, that we've been involved with Connecticut Children's. And it's just something that I was asked to do long time ago, and something that we've been involved with. This is the 3rd golf course that we've used. You know, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you go over there and you see how our players interact with the kids over there, and the attachment that they make with the kids, the emotional bonds, those things are pretty powerful, you know. So it serves 2 purposes, you know. We're trying to raise a lot of money for them, and what they bring to us and to our players, and the satisfaction that we get from them is just invaluable, you know. It's an experience that these kids, you know, when they graduate, when they leave here, they remember each and every single kid that they've touched, or that's touched them the whole time that they've been here.
Thank you.
How are your injured players coming along? Yana, Morgan, anyone else?
Morgan, she hasn't been on the court yet, so that's going to take a little bit of time. Yana's full. She's full go. Who else?
Caroline?
Carol, actually, you know what? Carol looks really, really good. I was talking to Dave Benedict about this. Like, this could be like one of those, wow, I didn't know that this could be possible, you know? I mean, it's not like all of a sudden she's going to go out there and be able to play 30 minutes, you know? She's not there yet. But she's there for 6, 7, 8 minutes in a row, and doesn't play any different than she did when she was the best player on the team when she was a freshman, you know, when we had all those injuries. So she looks great. She looks great. And it's great having her on the team, too, because her voice is the loudest voice on the team. You know, so I'm really, really happy for her, and I wish, you know, nothing but success for her this year. It would really, really mean a lot if we were able to count on her for some things, other than being the great teammate, great leader that she is.
Geno, at what point in the offseason, or what maybe do you have to have happen or see or hear that where you say, yeah, the fire's in the belly still, let's go after it anyway?
What point? I don't know that there's a point now. I remember back in the day, if we had lost in the Final Four, you could feel it in the summer. But to be really, really brutally honest, a lot of these guys in the past, when we've lost in the Final Four, they had no clue what it was all about. Like they would go through the summer like, yeah, we had a good year, that was fun. There was no, I think this year was one of the few times that we came out of the Final Four after that loss with a different feeling, and you could feel that as the season wore on, right? This group is really, really, really competitive. I think they have higher standards now than they did before. They are holding themselves to higher standards. They're holding each other to higher standards. So At what point when we get together?
When is it? When do you know that it still matters to you?
To me? Yeah, every day that I watch them, and I don't get that involved really because I don't want to prejudge. Like I don't want to go in June. That kid's not going to play because they suck. I'm not going to do that because it's June. So I try to like stay out of the way a little bit and let all the other coaches kind of do what they're really good at. But when I watch them, I really start to get a sense of. But there's still, believe me, there's a lot of missing pieces that we have to fix. Like the other day, CD set up this game, right? It was us against the men. I'm sorry. It was us against the men's team. It wasn't a basketball game. It was like a, Family Feud kind of thing, answering questions and all that. And they beat our ass. Like they were better prepared. They were better teammates to each other. They celebrated better when they won their trophy. It was like a national championship celebration. And I think our guys were like cocky little suckers. They thought, oh yeah, we're going to win. And they got their ass beat. So I want to see if when we play again, whether there's any change. Because they got their ass beat by the guys next door. Yeah, and they should be pissed.
It was like
like a family feud. Yeah, like line up all the guys, line up all my team, and then CD would ask questions, and first guys to answer, and they kicked our ass. And then there was a scavenger hunt, and they were better organized. They knew how to use their time better. Our guys got their ass beat. Yeah, so they're already 0-1.
How excited?
It's not even October, and they're already 0-1.
How excited were you to see Caitlin get picked back up?
Let me tell you something. That's like the biggest surprise team in the WNBA. An expansion team having a better record than almost half the league, right? So they're doing a great job out there, coaching, organization-wise, and I'm actually going to be out there. I'm going tomorrow, so I've got something I've got to do in Dallas on Wednesday. So I'm going to be there tomorrow. So I'm going to go to the game, and it's cool that I'm going to get a chance to see both of them. But yeah, no, she deserves to be in the league. Her competitiveness and her drive, she deserves to be in the league. She deserves to be playing professional basketball. So I'm thrilled for her.
What's impressed you about your newcomers?
What?
What's impressed you about your 4 newcomers so far?
They're what I thought they would be. Tentative, unsure. How do I behave? This is way different than where I was before. That's for the 2 college kids that came in. The other guys, Blanca's not here yet. In Italy, they don't trust you when you graduate from high school. They have to interview you for a month to make sure you remember everything you learned. So that's kind of a different. So the high school kids, Gandhi is 18 going on 32. Khalees is 18 going on 12. So we're having fun with all that. Khalees said her nickname is Big Fish. I go, who calls you that other than you? I said, I've never heard anybody call you Big Fish. So she's already delusional. She thinks she should be called Big Fish by everybody.
You're doing the.
It's like a guppy. We should call her Guppy.
You're doing the scrimmage with Boston College.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that and how does that change? Playing a Division II team, having a close scrimmage.
Well, we have two planned, right? We're playing BC, and then we're playing Southern Connecticut. So we have no close scrimmages this year. Yeah. So,
doing that for BC, doing that with the men.
Yeah. Like if we can't make any money, we're not going to play. That's the state of the world. Like everything we do, we have to make money on it. I'm beginning to think that if we schedule a game and the players can't make any money on it, they won't show up. They won't play. You're not paying me, I'm not playing.
Speaking of that, the House settlement just cleared. I mean, what kind of have the conversations been like within the athletic department for the last couple weeks since that?
Well, I think Dave, they're all in. I mean, you get a choice to opt in or not to that 20 million number, right? So we're opting in, obviously, so we can compete at that level. And then it's about allocating, those resources to the teams that you're going to allocate it to. And then it's about how on your roster you're going to manage your number, and every team has a different number. So it was, we got home on Monday from winning the national championship. We flew all day Monday, and Tuesday morning it's 9 o'clock in the morning. We're in the office trying to figure all this crap out. How the portal's going to affect us, how financially, anticipating that this was going to happen. Now it's just a matter of are people going to be punished if they circumvent the salary cap? Oops, you're not allowed to say there's a salary cap. But if they're going to circumvent what that 20 million number is, which obviously they are, because there's no humanly possible way that there's certain schools in the country that are going to only spend 20 million. It's just not possible. So it's already a sham. But we're going to stick to it. And I'm sure 90% of the schools are going to stick to it.
Have you gotten a sense on the national level just kind of what it's going to look like in women's basketball?
I think each conference is going to have, from what I hear, each conference is probably going to be split into tiers. So let's say Conference A maybe has 4 teams that are going to be at a real high level.
Ladies and gentlemen,
then they've got a bunch of teams in the middle that are going to be, and then there's going to be teams at the bottom that will never, ever, ever play for the conference championship in that league. So I'm getting the sense that that's the way it's going to shake out in every conference. I think the big football schools, the football programs are probably all going to be getting the exact same amount, pretty much throughout, the big conferences. I think basketball is going to vary in the Big East, where football, except for UConn, is not really part of the equation. I think there's a real opportunity there because financially you can men's basketball becomes your football. Okay, so we have an opportunity in our conference to really take advantage of this particular situation. The thing that we worry about in our league, obviously, is get a kid who's a really, really good player. School A can only pay them this. School B comes along, throws ridiculous amount of money at the kid, and the kid leaves. So you're never going to prevent that. So that's every coach's reality right now. And some schools are pretty much de facto JUCOs now. Right? I'm going to sign you. Nobody else recruited you. But I'm going to sign you. I'm going to coach you. I'm going to make you really good. And I know in 2 years you're going to leave. Unless you're that kid that loves the fact that I recruited you and want to play for me. If you know any of those kids, let me know. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming.